So hey guys, and welcome to the video, and welcome back to another Planet Coaster episode of my Perfect Park series. Today we're going to be doing some work to the African themed area of my dream theme park. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these Planet Coaster episodes. I think the last one I did was about a month ago now. I've just been doing some other things on the channel, and I've not really had time to record one of these Planet Coaster episodes. Again, there has been some good stuff on the channel, but there hasn't been one of these in a minute, so I thought, you know what, let's boot the series back up and get back on Planet Coaster, my perfect park. So here we go. So as I said, in this video, this is going to be me doing the African themed area. I've done quite a bit of work to the area around this roller coaster and the terrain, just because I wasn't 100% happy with the way that it looked coming back to the game after not seeing it for some time. So I thought, you know what, not happy with it, let's change it. And I do get this area to a state that I am happy with. Also, I did some modifications to the roller coaster just to make that a bit better as well. And I really do feel like the modifications I made did add something, because at the end of the roller coaster there really wasn't much. It was sort of a bank back into the station. Now there is a vertical loop before you bank back into the station. And I did some modifications and some smoothing to some of the transitions on the roller coaster as well, just to make it a bit better. There is a POV at the end of this episode where all the area is somewhat complete. Just to show you that. So here you can see me building the station. You may be thinking, wait, Ryan, these are the gingerbread pieces. Yes, they are the gingerbread pieces, but they were the best pieces that I could find that would really go with the aesthetic that I was going for. And you know what? They really did work for what I was going for. So I continue to use them, and you'll see me use a few different other pieces from a few different other sets in this video as well. I did put a bit of research into this video before I actually went ahead and started recording it as well. So I researched some traditional African buildings, and I built the building itself, the station building, off of what I'd done my research on, and I felt like I managed to mimic a lot of those African buildings which I'd found in Planet Coaster, which is really good. I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. So here you can see me placing the entrance and the exits. This is just so I have something to reference, just because you know, I do need those placed really, so I know where to put things and where to build around things. And I do build the basic outline of this queue line. So guys, I'm going to let the footage speed up here, and I'll see you in a second. Right, so here we go. You can see me start putting these wooden support spokes in the building. Whilst I was doing my research for these traditional African buildings, I saw quite a lot of photos of these support spokes coming out of buildings, and I really like them. I felt like they complemented these buildings perfectly. And they really added something. So I add a lot of these to a lot of the buildings that I do build in this episode. You can see me copying and pasting a lot of the objects in this episode, just because this build was so the scale of this build was just so big that it would have took me hours to do it by freehand, but by doing it this way, it sort of chopped that time in half, and I was able to get this episode into a decent time. What you're seeing here is around an hour, 2 hours of gameplay. I really did spend some time on this area to make it look nice. And I hope you agree by the end of this video, this area, while it's not complete, it looks nice, and it looks lived in, and it looks like somebody spent the time on it. Like I say, guys, like I always say, let me know down in the comments of what you think, because again, I really want to take your guys' feedback on board with this, and whilst I'm not the best Planet Coaster player in the world, I am getting to grips with some of the more advanced controls now, so I'm starting to use keyboard shortcuts, which is really making my life a lot easier. Again, if you've got any keyboard shortcuts that you guys use that you think might be useful for me, then let me know down in the comments, and you know what, I'll start using them. So here you can see me just copying and pasting those spokes, like I said I would. I am going to let this footage speed up, and I'll come back to you in a second. Go. You start to see me now put these wooden fence pieces on the top of the building. I really wanted to give that illusion that you could step out onto the roof and look out onto the surrounding area. Obviously you can't do that because within Planet Coaster there are limitations to where the peaks can go, but again, it's good creating the illusion that people can go to certain places. And that's something that I really try to capture in my buildings as well. I try to capture the feeling of being able to go to some of these places, and I feel like sometimes that facade, that illusion, just adds to the overall area as well, because it feels like there are a lot more places that these characters in-game can go. I wanted to talk about the opening of this park for a second, because like I said in a earlier episode, I am planning to open the park to peeps and guests around Christmas time, and that's when this series will be wrapped up. As I say, nothing's set in stone, and the series could run on longer than that. To be honest with you, I feel like that is going to be the case. I don't feel like it's going to end at Christmas, but that's what I'm aiming for at the moment. Just because there's so much more that I want to do with this park. There are going to be some things that I am going to do off camera as well, like the editing of the coaster and the editing of the terrain. I also did some stuff on my B&M Hyper off camera as well, as I noted in a few episodes ago. So yeah, as I say, I do really want to get this park going. I probably will add some more to this African themed area off camera now, as I want to move on with other things. I want to add some kind of transportation ride to all the different areas of this park, and that's something that you will see in a few episodes' time. I am planning to build a few different roller coasters in different areas, and there will be one roller coaster which will be built next episode that will start to bring the park together. That's all I'm saying. But it's going to be in the middle of the park, it's going to be big, and it's going to, in my opinion, tie the whole thing together. Planet Coaster and Roller Coaster Tycoon has always had this issue where peeps don't spread out to different areas of the park very well, especially in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. If you built a roller coaster at the back of the park, it's unlikely that the peeps are actually going to go to that ride. Again, it's been slightly rectified in Planet Coaster, but it's still an issue. So that's why I want to build this transportation ride and get that centralized roller coaster, just so when people come off that roller coaster, people can disperse themselves throughout the park, and that's why I want to build it in the middle of the park as well. So guys, I'm going to leave you with this bit and speed up the footage. we're really starting to get into the overall area and the theming of the overall area. I put some terrain, some like dead grass down on the ground, just because I felt like it really complemented the area. As you can see now, I've pretty much finished the station building. I won't be doing any more to that, because I feel if I started doing more to the station building, I'm going to ruin it, and I'm going to make it look not as good as it is at the moment. So here I'm starting to build some walls for the surrounding area. Again, I go with that gingerbread style wall just because I feel like it really complements the aesthetic that I'm going for. So yeah, you do see quite a lot of that in this episode. Well, in this bit of this episode. Again, you can see me copying and pasting things here. It made the process of building all this a lot quicker. To be honest with you, this is where a bulk of the episode is, so it's where I spent the most time just to get it right and just to get it looking as good as it can be. Because in Planet Coaster, I am a bit of a perfectionist. I do like to try and get things looking as good as they can be, and if they don't look quite right, then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to correct it, like I did with the terrain. Because if you go back to last episode, all this where this wall is now was terrain, because I felt like that looked good at the time, and I went back and I changed it because you know what? I changed my mind and I don't think it looks good. That's the good thing with Planet Coaster though, and these park sim games. If you don't like something that you've done, you can go back and change it. And you know what? I like doing that. Because especially if you take some time off, like I've done on a specific park. Or you go back to you start working on something else, you go back to something else, and you realise, hey, that doesn't look so good, or I'm not so hot on that now. And again, that is the beauty of these theme park sim games. So, you know, I am going to leave the footage to speed up for a little while now, just because this is pretty much how the rest of the episode goes. And I don't want to bore you guys with me just rambling, to be honest with you. Again, I do use a lot of the ideas which I had in the start of the video. I put some of those wooden spokes on, and I do unify the buildings a little bit, and I put one of those little canopy areas at the top of this building as well. So by canopy, sorry, I mean one of those little shaded areas. I use some wooden log pieces to support a roof piece, a gingerbread roof piece, and that's sort of like a little shaded area. So again, if you were a peep and you could go up to these buildings, you could go and stand in one of those areas and look at the surrounding area and just take it all in. So again, guys, I'm going to speed up the footage here, and I shall see you afterwards. we are. The surrounding area is built. The terrain, I spruce up the terrain here just so it stretches to the edges of that sort of cornered off area. I wanted to segregate this area from the rest of the park just because I felt like it really complemented the aesthetic that I was going for, and it complemented the area well. I will be adding some more rides in here. I don't finish this area off in this episode. I just want to emphasize that. So again, there will be some stuff done off camera, but I will add a couple more rides to this area, probably in another episode. There will be an episode very soon where I just go and spruce some things up, to be honest with you, and I just I finished some areas that probably weren't finished. I add some more rides, add some food stalls, add some facilities, just make the park a bit more theme parky, really. Just because I feel like I have neglected quite a few areas of this park. I've started areas off and I've not 100% finished them. Plus, I want to go back to that entrance area, and I want to add a large-scale building. So I want, like I said in the first episode, I wanted it to be a castle. I wanted it to look like a castle. I wanted it to be that castle aesthetic. And in my opinion, it's not big enough. So I will be going back and I will be adding more to that. But again, that will be its own separate episode. Probably towards the end of this series, to be honest with you. Again, we're 10 episodes in now, if you can believe that. So in my opinion, it's really time that I start thinking about the overall direction that I want this park to go in. Particularly because Christmas and December is fast approaching. So if I really want to finish this series off for Christmas, then I'm going to have to really step my game up. As I say, I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest with you. I don't think this series will finish at Christmas, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Anything could happen. And again, unfortunately, my area of the UK has gone into Tier 3 lockdown, and the overall UK will be going into a lockdown on Thursday, so I've got plenty more time to be working on this. Let me know if you want to see extra episodes added to the schedule. I don't mind doing these midweek as well. It'll be a bit of extra work for me, but you know, I am going to keep these 2 Monday for now though. And I'll probably do a bit more in each episode going forward towards December. But again, if the UK still is in some kind of lockdown in December, then I will continue the series on. But yeah, I am going to speed up the rest of this episode, and I will see you at the end. So guys, unfortunately we have come to the end of the episode now. I really hope you've enjoyed the return of my Perfect Park series. Again, let me know down in the comments if you want to see more of these on different days potentially, or even if I was to live stream these, just so you guys can see this park built in real time. Again, I've been Ryan from iCoaster. Please click that like button if you've liked the video. Also, click that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Again, I've been Ryan from iCoaster. I'll see you in the next episode. Enjoy this POV.